Hey guys, what's up? Unrested shouting at you from the top of the Intercontinental Building in the middle of Umeda. Beautiful sky shot there in the background, isn't it? Great backdrop for this video, but that's not why I'm here today. I'm not here to talk about Umeda or backgrounds. I'm actually here to talk about an apology that I'd like to issue. And there's a couple reasons for this. It kind of goes deep, and some people might even call this drama, but if you're one of those people, then just click off the video. Just click block, delete, unsubscribe, whatever you need to do to get as far away from me and my channel as you can. I really don't care. Those of you who have been longtime viewers, longtime fans, will give me a chance. So a couple days ago, about last week, around almost the same time actually, I made a video about Mira, and the whole situation that kind of triggered me was the fact that she sent me a private message, an SMS via line, that she was on the verge of committing suicide. And pretty much for me, this is kind of a big trigger. Suicide, if you don't know, is something that is something I take very serious, and suicide prevention is actually something I'm very passionate about. It's actually something that I did while I was in college. I worked suicide prevention hotlines. And if you check my videos a couple days back, I actually have an unrestology called On Suicide, and it talks about two of my closest friends who committed suicide and how that affected me, how I dealt with it, and I guess the origin story to why I'm passionate about suicide prevention. And my video that I was making was based entirely around that. The fact that I was worried about someone who I felt was in a dark place, I felt like was in the verge of committing suicide, was reaching out to anyone and everyone they could. And I wanted to, at the very least, use my video to, number one, try to put a stop to any kind of bullying that might drive that person over the edge, or at least steer my viewers away from that kind of bullying or suicide urging, or whatever you would call it, whatever you want to label it. I wanted no part of that, and that was because of my own passionate feelings about suicide and how it's not something we should try to call somebody's bluff on. Oh, you're just lying, it's just fake, it's all a charade. And my reasoning behind that was because I have to fully admit it is a trigger for me. It's something I take very serious. And I was pretty much fooled. I was pretty much had the wool pulled over my eyes. I found out later that that wasn't actually the case. In fact, well, I guess, in fact, to get to the root of this problem, I have to reel it back a couple of years, 2 years, when I was an idiot and stuck my nose into business that it didn't belong. I thought that the jvlog community was being affected by this controversy that was happening between Mira and other jvloggers who had accused her of making puppet accounts, and I stuck my nose in that business, and that was none of my business. And I also felt guilty for that. And even to this day, I still feel guilty, and I regret that I took down the video, because I make mistakes. I'm only human. And so leading up to that, this got to a point where, because I had been one of the people that had made that video, I did feel responsible that if she was in a dark place, maybe it was because of me. Now, the way I worded my video, telling people to please don't bully her anymore and please don't urge her to commit suicide, left a lot of people confused, and I blame nobody but myself. I used a long video trying to urge a message that I thought was about suicide prevention, but turned out to sound more like I was blaming the people who were the actual victims of what happened during this incident. And by incident, I mean the whole accusations of sock puppet accounts. If you don't know the full story, there's so much online. You can go check it out through multiple sources. That's not what I'm here to talk about today. I'm not here to say who's wrong, who's right. I'm here to issue an apology. And my apology is to everyone who was involved in this. My apology is to Rachel, to Charla, to Michaela, Kat. I even want to issue an apology to Victor and Jake, who got dragged back into this too, because of my video. Solely because of me. I'm putting 100% of the blame on me. What I tried to use as a way to, I guess, put asunder bullying, what I thought was bullying, and people urging her to commit suicide or her being on the edge of suicide, turned out later to be little more than, well, I guess, like I said, a charade, something that I don't normally call out, something that I don't normally say, hey, that person's probably lying. And in this case, knowing what I know now, I should have taken a few steps back and actually thought about doing that. I wouldn't ever normally do that, because that's just not how my mind works. That's not how my emotional reactions to suicide work, due to the fact that I've had 2 suicides in my life, in my past. And like I said, if you want to know more about that, that's not something I'm going to talk about in this video, because it's something very hard for me to talk about, but I did 2 or 3 videos back. So if you want to hear the backstory on that, check out that and you'll understand what I'm talking about more. So the reason I want to apologize is, number one, I should have never stuck my nose into any of this business to begin with. Like I said, no matter who's right or who's wrong, or what accusations have been shouted at either end of the playing field, I have no right to be part of this. I know at the beginning of this whole feud, I said it was because I care about the jvlog community. It was because I worried about the other community members that were in it, and the way this was affecting them. And I see now that rather than inject myself into this controversy and try and fix it, I've done a better job of dismantling the community. And again, that's something I regret. It's something I should have never done. And again, that's wholly my mistake for sticking my nose into this business. And I guess what I really regret is, after I made my video asking people, please don't bully her anymore, please don't bully Mira anymore. I talked to her in private SMS, online, and she's on the verge of committing suicide. I found out later, due to some other people who kind of knew what my triggers were. They're like, Scott, look, I know you're really sensitive to suicide and stuff, but take a look at what's already happened. And she had pretty much already copied and pasted our private conversations and was like laughing about them with her friends about how she had fooled me into thinking that she was going to commit suicide. So there you go. No good deed goes unpunished. And again, my fault. I should have known. I should have known better. Pretty much all the warning signs were there. Actually, immediately after I even posted that video, there were multiple jvloggers, much bigger than myself, who were shouting at me saying, hey man, she sent me those same messages too. Even ones that haven't even made videos for a long time. Jvloggers who have been out of the scene for ages said they got the same exact message, to the point that they would copy and paste it and send it to me and say, look, see, you got the same exact thing I did. The only problem was, when she cast out this wide net, she found one person who their kryptonite, I guess, was suicide, and that was me. And I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. And I apologize, to, number one, all the other jvloggers I dragged into this. I apologize for the way I sounded in that video. It sounded as though I made light of what they suffered through during this and are still suffering through. It sounded as though I made light of their accusations, which was not my intention. My intention was to curb the bullying. And I apologize to my viewers too. This channel, like I said, I want it to be about Japan, and I want jvlogging to be people who are passionate about Japan, and I've wasted everybody's time by dragging this whole bullshit back up again. And again, nobody to blame but me. And I'm sorry. I'm even sorry to the haters, to the trolls who were tired of this already, who came back out and were like, Jesus Christ, I thought this was buried. I'm sorry to them too, because really, I mean, even they had let it rest. And pretty much my my suicide prevention video that I thought was going to help someone, um, and I don't know, maybe it did in the end. I don't really know anymore. I don't know what to believe anymore, really. Um, it got mocked by the person who I sent it to. It got mocked by the person who I made it for. And, there's, at the beginning of all of this, I thought this was a very simple plot line. Person A created fake accounts and used those fake accounts to harass and bully person B, C, D, E, etc., multiple people. I thought that was it. I thought that was, and like they're pissed off about it. Okay, I understand that. That's cool. And I thought that was the end of it. But guys, this whole matter goes so much deeper down the rabbit hole than you can even imagine. And that is not a rabbit I want to follow. That's not something I want to dig deeper into. In fact, this will be the utterly last video I ever make about this. I will never touch on it again. I have really no wish to ever have my channel touched by this whole issue again, and I have no wish to communicate with Mira ever again. I see now how easy it is to be fooled by her. I see how quickly she'll use things such as even suicide to pull the wool over somebody's eyes, which, I mean, that's just lower than low. I don't call somebody's bluff on suicide because I feel like that's a level you don't go to. You know, that's things like you don't joke about, your kids dying. You don't joke about like somebody with cancer dying. You don't joke with somebody who's suicidal about actually committing suicide because that's in poor taste, right? Right? I mean, am I making sense here? Even I don't know if I'm making sense here. I think my biggest and most important thing I can do with this video is just say I'm sorry. And it doesn't make anything right, and it doesn't remove the fact that I dug my nose into business that wasn't mine, or that I helped dismantle the jvlog community even more. It doesn't make an excuse for the fact that, I was fooled by suicide, by a fake suicide charade. It doesn't excuse that. It doesn't really excuse me from anything, and that's why I'm here to say my mistake. I fucked up. I screwed up. I take full blame. If you want to be angry, let me have it in the comments below. But I guess at the end of the day, I want to say direct your hate my way. Don't pour it all over the people who actually were negatively affected by my video, by Mira's video, or by the new video that she's made now. And believe whatever you want. I'm not here to argue anybody's side. I will say that very soon, in the very near future, I can't go into extreme details for multiple reasons that it won't even make sense until a lot more is about to be revealed. And when all that is revealed, the stuff that I can't talk about now, this will all make a lot more sense. Why I feel so badly about the video that I made, even though that its intentions were what I thought was good. It'll make a lot more sense. It'll make a lot more sense why I'm being so apologetic. This whole situation will make more sense very soon. And that's pretty much what I gotta leave it at. I can't go into greater detail than that for like I said, multiple reasons that I don't even want to mention in this video, because really, I'll just dig myself a deeper hole. Anyway, guys, I hope you accept this apology, and I'm unrested. I'll see you next time.